Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome back to the Road Warrior. I don't know if you have this where you live. It's become a new Nashville thing where they now name all of the big buildings in town. And I don't mean, off after the company, because we've got a lot of high-rise condos and townhouses and things like that. And they're a combination, business on the bottom, office space and or residences on top. For example, the building I work in is called the Terrazzo Building. On the first floor, there's a big fancy steak restaurant. You've got people living on, I don't know what floors they live on, 5 to 11, 5 to 13, I don't know what it is. And then you have offices on the first 4 floors. Yeah, and then across the street from us, another one with a parking garage, that's the Icon Building. And it was kind of funny, I thought, they used to do that in the big cities all the time. Now granted, the Tribune Building in Chicago is named after the paper. The John Hancock Building is named after the insurance company that, I guess, did they fund the John Hancock Building? I don't even know at this point. But I know that John Hancock Insurance was in the John Hancock Building for many years. But I was driving into work the other day, so I was like, okay, let's see if I can notice some names on the sides of buildings. There was the Muse, the Broadstone, the Aspire, the Harlow. Now, I think most of these are all residential buildings with some retail in the bottom. I know, like the Icon had a restaurant. It was a flatbread restaurant for years. It was called Urban Flats at one time. Then it was something Flats, and 2 or 3 different flatbread buildings, and it finally went out of business. We ate there long before I was working across the street from it. And they had a Starbucks in one part of it, a big parking garage, and a Vitamin Theory or something like that. So it was interesting to see that every building, and it's true, every building in town when it's built, especially if it's what they call mixed use, has got a name to it. Now, I'm sure if I went back to my childhood heritage days growing up, my parents grew up in Chicago, but I born in Chicago, and then we left shortly after I was born. I know a lot of those buildings, even the residential buildings, all had names. In the TV show, Murders in the Building, with Steve Martin and Martin Short, that building in New York City's got a name. And I know they're trying to make Nashville into a big city. They're trying to make it so we seem and feel like a big city. I know, it is what it is. I've never really considered Nashville a big city, but it wants to be one. It's trying to be one. So I guess if we name all of our buildings. Now again, you could tell me go to the Muse, and I wouldn't even know. When I went to college, I lived in the dormitory called Muse Hall. I think that's what its name was, Muse. But I couldn't tell you right now if it was M-U-S-E or M-U-Z-E. And I know the Muse I drive by here is M-U-Z-E, not M-U-S-E. And I'm sure in college it was named after a person. I don't know why we have to name buildings. Just tell me the street address, because I can type that into, whether it's my Waze account or type it into my GPS and get where I'm going. You can't tell the GPS necessarily, go to the Muse, because especially here, because they're updating those buildings, oh my gosh, so fast. It's crazy. But everything has to have a name. I'm sure there's a reason behind that. Back next week, another Road Warrior, kevinmason.us, home to all the Road Warrior videos. YouTube, Facebook, subscribe, like, comment, share, tell a friend in any way, shape, or form. We love it when you stop by each week. We love it when you tell folks. We love it when you interact. We just love the fact that you're here. I love knowing that I'm just not doing it to humor myself and talk to myself. I put in a little bit too much effort. Not much, as you know, but not much effort, but just enough to make me really appreciate you being here every week. Have a good one. See you next week, another Road Warrior. Drive by some buildings and you'll see. Especially those mixed-use ones. It's not like driving by a shopping center that has a name. Next week, see you, bye.